Radio Wammo Breakfast. Time to head over to Miami to underwatertimes.com with Jeff Dudas standing on by. G'day there, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing, Wammo?
Very good. First up, a story about, this is kind of odd, 500 fish deaths. How did this happen?
Yeah, it's a big controversy. This is in Germany, and where is it? I believe Hamburg. 500 fish have died in a lake, and you have anglers blaming the swimmers, and the swimmers are actually blaming the ice skaters. And so it goes back to the anglers have come out and said they're blaming this now on the swimmers because the swimmers are peeing in the lake and produce so much pee that it's raising, I guess, the pH in the lake and causing algae blooms, which they say are depriving the lake of oxygen and killing off the fish. This is
a lake, not a little pond.
It said evidently it's a good-sized lake. They don't say it's Ike Bomb Lake. They don't say how big it is, but it says, I guess in the summer there's tons of bathers there. The angler, this guy from the Anglers Association, said he estimates each swimmer is dumping a half a liter of urine per swimmer per day. So that's I'm not sure where he comes up with that, but it's quite a lot.
So it'd basically be like swimming in a sewer.
Oh, you would think so, yeah. It wouldn't be too nice. So the environmental agencies have stepped in and looked at it, and they started dumping this anti-phosphate agent, which is supposed to sort of neutralize things. But it's like it said they're spending like it's 500,000 euros to dump all this anti-phosphate agent, which is a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the swimmers are turning around and say, no, it's actually the skaters, because this lake freezes over during the wintertime. Yeah. And as you skate, it wakes up the fish. The fish go deep and they go into hibernation. So if the fish wake up, they can't really breathe because it's too cold, and they die. And so they say it's really the skaters.
Wow, so the anglers blame the swimmers blame the skaters.
And one other the local university is stepping up to do a study on this to see if this P death theory is going to hold water, but that's yet to come.
Okay, all right. Next story. There's something straight out of the movies, really. Sharks with laser beams.
Absolutely, right out of Austin Powers. This is a Shark Week regular, Luke Tipple. Who's a marine biologist, did this experiment where he had this special clamp, and he clamped it onto the fin of a shark, and it was a 50 watt laser, just to test it out and see what it would do. People are sort of scratching their head, why would you do this? And actually, it was a bit controversial. He says that he was testing out this new clamp, and it's supposedly a biodegradable clamp. It doesn't hurt the shark. And it's supposed to fall off, because most of the times when you tag a shark, you have to actually go through the fin, and it's like sort of like a piercing on a human. So this is supposed to break down, and he says so he's working on these clamps and to see how the sharks would respond to light and sort of velocity and trajectory and stuff. It's kind of sounds like publicity to me, but There it goes, but straight out of sharks with laser beams in real life.
Because there was some talk not that long ago for the American military going to be using dolphins in a similar fashion. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I mean that's been going on for quite some time. They use dolphins for anti-swimmer or anti-diver, and also mine clearance. So that's real life. That goes on today.
Wow. Okay. All right, finally, Jeff, a national competition for fishing in I think this is in the UK, that didn't, or was it the UK? It didn't really end up as people would expect it should.
Yeah, this was the All England Squid Fishing Championships. It's a big affair. There's sort of hundreds of people supposedly come to this, and they shell out a lot of money to catch the biggest squid, and of course, all the glory that comes with that. And so they had the competition this year, and the weather was evidently terrible. They had howling winds, and only a handful of fishermen actually went out and actually tried to fish. and one of the guys pulled in a catch. He thought it was a bit of trash on the line. He was about to reel back out, and he looked, and it was a tiny squid. It was about as big as, I guess, your fingernail, 1 centimeter squid. So he kept it. No one, didn't know what would happen. And sure enough, he won with actually that 1 centimeter squid. That was the only one caught that day. But the guy actually, so it's, not too lucky, I guess you could say. He won last year, too, but it was like a 61 centimeter squid, which is probably about as big as your forearm. So, it's a good story. He retained the prestigious squid fishing championship.
Regardless of the weather conditions and how many people took part, it's also perhaps a sign of the times where the winning fish is tiny.
Well, supposedly squid are doing all right. That was one of the things. But, if they were fishing for trout or salmon, yeah, probably so. But they said because the weather was so bad and the visibility was so bad that they had poor returns this year. So.
Yeah. All right, well, those stories are up at underwatertimes.com and a whole lot more there as well. Jeff has been joining us in Miami. Thanks very much.
Hey, thanks for having me.